Hi, welcome to Detailing World. In today's video, we're going to be doing a product review on polished pigs. Hi, so welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name's Matt, and as I say, today we're going to be taking a look at a range of products from polished pigs. I've had these sat on my shelves for a couple of months now, and I know they're quite eager for me to get this done. So as you can tell with the hat and the coat, and maybe you can even see my breath on camera, it's a bit of a fresh one today, but after a bit of a scrambling around, I've managed to get hold of a car for today's video. I've got my cousin's E350 Convertible, so we're going to be testing out this polished pig range on that car, and hopefully it'll speed things up because I've not got a roof to worry about. So that's going to be a future video. So yeah, looking at the range that polished pigs have sent us, then we'll first start off with a wheel cleaner. Now this says on the bottle it can be used up to 1 to 10 for lightly soiled wheels. I've had a quick walk around the car and the wheels aren't that bad, so it may be that I do use this at 1 to 10, and it does say use neat for heavily soiled wheels. Onto the snow foam, they've sent this little piglet bottle here. Now the instructions say to use this at 1 to 20. So the mass off the top of my head is about 47 mil in a 1 litre lance, or just put 50 mil in. That'll give you slightly stronger than 1 to 20. We'll see how that performs at 50 mil. That's quite a claim. That there's a few other products that will do that, and I know this and that will struggle. But anyway. Next up then we have the shampoo, and again this says to put approximately 20 mil into your bucket. It doesn't say how big a bucket is, but I'm simply going to do 20 mil then normally it's about 15 litres I put into my big buckets, and so we'll see how that gets on. Next up we've got the fallout remover, and as you expect you spray that on neat, you don't dilute these products. See what it smells like. It smells awful, as you expect from most fallout removers. And then moving on to more of the finishing stages, we've got a quick detail here. I love how a lot of the products are pink where they can make it pink. Fits right into the branding there. So quick detail that says you can use that as a drying aid. We'll then move on to a polish. It's an all-in-one polish with, it does say it's got some cutting agents and carnauba wax, so it's a bit, a glazed polish. It's an all-in-one, so it'll do the lot. And then finally we'll finish off with a spray wax. This is a spray-on wipe-off, I do believe. It is. So yeah, that's the products we're going to be looking at today. So as always, if you do enjoy this video, please make sure you smash that like button, and if you're not subscribed to this channel already, please do consider subscribing as well. So yeah, we'll just take a quick look around the car and then we'll get to work on the products. Right, so it's all been cleaned up then, so I'm going to leave this section polish free, put some polish in these two and try and get some real cutting applied in there. So here I'm just going to slap this on, like most people would, you know, on any car really. You're not going to work it too much. Put a nice layer of that on there, and leave that just to haze up. And then on this lower section here, I'm just going to work it a little bit more, as I said, just see if we've got much cut in this. So yeah, let's just try and work this for a few minutes. And again, as most of you know, I hate hand polishing. So we'll keep working this over and over, and I'll buff it off in just a moment. Right, so there we have it then. I've got my helpers just joined, so I'm just going to buff this off from these two areas. I'm just going to use a generic yellow microfiber here, nothing special. Right, so with that done then, that's the original side. We'll just move over. You can see it's actually helped improve that a little bit there, so we're just trying to get a 50-50. Yeah, the swirls are a bit reduced, and obviously it's a bit of a deeper blue here as well. And if we try and check here between the top half and bottom, again working it, it has got some abrasives in it. Ignore that line there, that's where a bonnet bra was, but that's pretty much the line that I use. So it's quite, this is had polish here, and then this bit is where I worked it a little bit longer. So if you do work it, it does help reduce that. I'll put you back on the tripod and see if we can get it a bit smoother. Okay, so that's the Polished Pigs range all done with then. And as always, I started off with a wheel cleaner, and I use this exactly as it says, which is a 10:1. Obviously it does say you can use it up to neat, but if the lowest dilution is 10:1, that's exactly what I'm going to be testing it at. So 50 ml of product into 500 ml of water. That was very frothy, even at a 10:1. I've used others in the past that just didn't foam up like that. And it was nice to have just a dedicated wheel cleaner with no fallout agents in there. I know some people prefer the bleed-in wheel cleaners these days, but yeah, a nice traditional wheel cleaner, and that worked very, very well. I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised at how well that worked at 10:1. I honestly wasn't expecting much from that one. Right, so next up then is snow foam. Now again, follow the instructions. This says 1 to 20, so that's 1 part product to 20 parts water. Again, I used 500 ml of water, which is 25 ml of snow foam. It just didn't cling or dwell. It didn't really do anything. I think a lot of snow foams that try and, essentially what that is 50 ml of product into a 1 litre bottle. There's only a couple of snow foams that I find work well at that. Most snow foams do require a 10:1 mix, so 100 ml of product into basically 900 ml of water. I know that's not exactly 10:1, that's a 9:1, but you see where I'm getting with this. So yeah, put it this way, it didn't cling, it wasn't that thick, and it didn't even clean that much either. At 1 to 20, if it had really good cleaning ability, and it sacrificed the cling and the thickness, then great. But the cling and thickness was so short, I didn't even have a chance to snap a photo by the time I whizzed around the car. So I then hit it again of a more 1 to 10 ratio. So I used 50 ml of product this time into 500 ml of water. It was a bit thicker, but still not where I'd like it to be. And it did seem to clean, but again, not. I'm unsure on the snow foam. I can only report, obviously, on the day. It didn't really blow me away. In fact, I had to give someone a quick buzz. Not Polished Pigs, I didn't have their number, but somebody else, and see if they had any issues, if it was just me. And it may be that it was just me, but hey ho. So moving on from the snow foam, the next stage, obviously, is shampoo. The instructions are a bit vague on this, so it just says 20 ml into your clean bucket of water. What's a bucket of water? I kind of went a bit conservative. I didn't fill a 20 litre bucket, I never do. I usually use about 15 litres. So what you see me actually do is I've got the 2 litre jug, filled that 7 times, so that's 14 litres, and then whatever trickled into the bucket from the tap as it was tipping. So there's nearly 15 litres of water for 20 ml. Once again, I wasn't expecting anything from this, but like the wheel cleaner, this actually performed quite well. And I obviously gave it a quick blast with the pressure washer just to get some foam. That sudsed it up quite well. And then I hit it again later on because I was messing around doing some shots. I probably ended up, really, this was like into 20 litres of water by the time I'd finished adding it, you know, dipping the pressure washer in. And it was really sudsy as well. That was another thing I noticed. And maybe the cold weather helped with that, surprisingly. But yeah, that is a shampoo that I really did like. Cleaned very well. Like I said, once you've got the pressure washer in, plenty of suds and foam, and very economical at that sort of 20 ml into a bucket. I'd just like to see it a bit clearer what a bucket, what a measure is of a bucket. But as I say, 20 ml into 15 litres worked fine for me. So then moving on from the cleaning stage, it's obviously fallout removers. So aptly named fallout remover. I've used quite a lot of that, probably half the bottle. It's a 500 ml bottle, so 250 ml. Spray this on the wheels after I did the detarring. Sprayed it all along the sides, and it did what it's supposed to do. In fact, it worked in like 2 minutes. There was no having to leave it 5 minutes or anything like that. So sprayed it on the wheels and it turned purple within 30 seconds or so. So it probably is quite an aggressive cleaner. Nothing fancy or anything like that. It does what it's supposed to do. I'm not quite sure what the pricing is on this. I'll put the price down below in a moment. But I've used 250 ml on that car. But again, it's a car that doesn't get maintained and detailed that often. So it's not your typical detailer's car, but it is your typical customer's car. So once the car had been detarred, de-ironed and all of that jazz, it was then rinsed off, and I used the quick detailer as a drying aid. And again, that worked very well. Just spray that all over the car. Well, I was doing like, you know, the bonnet, and then dry the bonnet, then do one side of the car, dry that, and so on. And it was just sort of breaking that surface tension of the water. It was very flat, the water, and I do find sometimes cars with no protection just a bit of a pain to dry properly. That made it very easy. And again, when it's cold, it's usually an absolute pain to dry a car properly. But yeah, using that, again, happily impressed with that. I'm not quite sure how much I've used there, maybe 50 ml or so, 70 ml. Again, I'm not quite sure on the price. I'll put that below, and obviously prices are correct as of today, which is the 29th of November, I believe. So moving on to the finishing stages then, we finish off with a polish. Anyone who's watched enough of the videos will know how much I hate hand polishing, but this went on very easy and also wiped off very easy as well. I've also, as I've shown you just there, I've done a test on the scrap bonnet as well. With it being a white car, it's quite hard to show you, but I did over apply in some areas, but it does work a long time. You can spread it, and it did add a bit of a slick feel, especially on the bonnet where I tried, you know, did half the bonnet and left half the bonnet bare, and it gave it quite a nice slick feeling as well. So that's a nice all-in-one polish with a bit of protection in there as well. And then last but not least, we went on with the spray wax. As always, I over apply too much on the bonnet. I always do on the first time. Buff that off with one side of a nice plush microfiber, and then flip it over and just get another final wipe. Eventually, you know, on a car like that, on a big Mercedes like that, you only need one, maybe two sprays on a panel. So the door had, you know, a couple of sprays, and the big rear quarter just had a couple of sprays. One spray on the boot lid. I think two, maybe three sprays would have been enough on the bonnet. I probably went with like 5 or 6. But it is a spray and wipe product, not a spray and rinse. Be looking forward to see how that gets on over the coming weeks. Unfortunately, again, I'm not able to do any beading and sheeting on that. But it does, you know, I gave the car a final wipe down before my cousin came to collect it, and the car just feels so much slicker once you've put that on there. So yeah, that's spray wax. Quite happy with that. I've had, you know, it wasn't smeary or anything like that. It worked in quite well and came off very easy. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video and found this review useful. If you did, please make sure you smash that like button, and if you're not subscribed to this channel already, please do consider subscribing as well. It really does help us out. As always, you can check us out on Instagram as well. We're on there as Detailing World Official. If you want to see the behind the scenes and all of that stuff, you can follow myself as well as Randomly Set. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up today, and we'll see you in the next video.